Why you ain't say nothing? I'm only gonna do this once. You always knew I'd make it from the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing? You believed in me the whole time, for real? Yeah. I couldn't tell. You was around me from the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Seen them hard times, couldn't kill me. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Stages I'm on getting bigger. Now you wanna say something. But watching my story all winning. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't call? Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? You was around me from the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing? Stages I'm on getting bigger. Now you wanna say something. Put that on my soul. They ain't hungry no more when it's time to eat crow. Or farming, I'ma hand to my glow. Ain't gon' argue with you about what I know. Photo album, all I'm seeing is ghosts. Had to remodel from pillar to post. Said what I said, I ain't come here to argue. You said congratulations, should've said sorry. Got it, now you won't be part of the party. Your access denied, I'm sorry, not sorry. When I needed air, niggas wouldn't have farted. Now they pulling up and thinking we solid. Now I'm on the phone talking $1 million topics. Up early, Zoom call out to Abu Dhabi. Don't answer my phone if it's gonna be about gossip. I don't really care, everybody got problems. That's why I be sharing my woes, letting y'all know it's okay, you can come up from the bottom. Scraping, scratching, clawing. Before I start running, I started with crawling. Before I got balanced, I started with falling. Started with broke before ever was balling. Started with hope before ever reward. They ain't show up till I became important. You was around me from the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Seen them hard times, couldn't kill me. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Stages I'm on getting bigger. Now you wanna say something? Been watching my story all winter. Why you ain't say nothing? The Classic Codes disclaimer. This live stream is for entertainment and commentary purposes only. All statements made are alleged, opinion-based, and a part of a public discussion. We are content creators reacting to publicly available information, not journalists or legal professionals. Nothing stated should be interpreted as factual claims or assertions of wrongdoing. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome to the Classic Codes.
Remember this day. Remember this day.
Classic. 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 I'm only gonna do this once. That glow. And one thing they hate worse than you having that glow is when you know you got that glow. They don't like that. They don't like that at all. So give them a reason to keep hating on it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All farming hard up in rank. Step in the room, they paid away. I get treated like a milli tank. Southpaw like I'm really tank. I do things that they really can't. Envious, cause they really ain't.
What up, chat?
Win any type of way. That's a parlay you could take to the bank. That's a parlay you could take to the bank. Know some people I love put some smut on my name. Real life, I'ma still love them the same. I'ma love them from outside of the frame. I'ma love them from outside of the pain. That type of hate don't belong on my paint. That type of hate don't belong in proximity. Lord knows I love to match energy. Won't smoke, I know the back chimney. No hope with me once you an enemy. Well trained, I break you down clinically. BTA is my ministry. Laying that belt, laying that leather. It ain't no pics, it's with whoever. Ain't gotta like us, but you gon' respect us. Before I be soft, I'd rather be deadly. Let's get it. Since I lost Sebastian, my heart has been heavy. Heart in my heart, now it's hard to be friendly.
Hit the like and subscribe button.
Was heavy. Felt his heart stop, oh my God, I really couldn't even walk, his last walk was with Granny. Heard he was sick and they said it was bad. I damn that collapsed, but my legs feel like jelly. Man down, I lost my family. Therapy dog, who gon' help with my sanity now? Think about vanity now. Been in the gym, I'm trying to balance it out. Managing rage, out of line, so people jumped off the page. Bad time if you really won't play. Bad time for you to play with my name. It's Candyman if you say my name. Up in rank. Step in the room, they paid away. I get treated like a milli tank. Southpaw like I'm really tank. I do things that they really can't. Envious, cause they really ain't. I'ma win any type of way. That's a parlay you could take to them. I'm having that aura, I got that glow. They hate it worse when they know that you know. Walk in the room like I'm covered in gold. I used to suppress it, was about to implode. I used to suppress it, was about to explode. Sore thumb in the room, everywhere that I go. Black sheep for the fam, used to think something was wrong. Took a little time to realize I was chose. Took a little time to realize I was special. I
nigga,
grind
you
with
know what's up.
obsession.
We kept
Everything
the
about me
style.
irregular. Everything about me is pressure. Maximum effort. No box left unchecked on the checklist. No stone left unturned. Mash on the gas and etc. Or farming hoe, I'm up in rank. Step in the room, they paved the way. I get treated like a milli tank. Southpaw like I'm really tank. I do things that they really can't. Envious, cause they really ain't. I'ma win any type of way. That's a part that you can take to the bank. Yes, Lord.
It ain't even about being a real dude or a fake dude.
Or farming hoe, I'm up
me.
in rank. Classic. Yo, it's Classic with the classic codes, and I got another great live show for y'all today. You have tapped in with the best daytime live show on all streaming platforms. It's Classic with the classic codes. Welcome in, chat. What's going on, man? And I got the best chat on all streaming platforms. Chat 333. It ain't no debate. You know what it is. I'm only gonna do this once. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord, man. But listen, man, let's do a quick roll call. Then we're going to get into the show. Red Scholar, what up? Queen Loyalty, what up? Yay, what up? Ray Stone, what up? What up? What up? Who else in here? Rain Free with 1,000 jewels early. What up? What up? Tez, what up? Miss Washington, what up? Too Tight, what's going on with it? What up? What up? What up? To everybody tapped in 333. We got a great live show. Make sure you like and subscribe on the way in. Knock out the free stuff. It should be no charge. If they charge you, let me know so I can get that back for you, man. But yeah, man, we are here. We got a great show. We got a lot to get to. My spirits are high. I feel cheerful because I told you that Inspector Classic was on the job. You know what I'm saying? You got a few great content creators who've been on the job, man. And Inspector Classic been on the job. And I ain't gonna lie to you, chat. I ain't gonna lie to you, chat. We got him. We got him, chat. Hey.
It's already out there. It's already out there.
But we're gonna have a little fun first. We're gonna get all caught up, man. So everything today will be pertaining to the Nolan Xavier Wells case and situation, trial, whatever you want to look at it as we watch everything unfold. Child by what's going on, Purple, what's going on. Yeah, so as we watch everything unfold, I've been keeping y'all abreast and updated to everything that's going on right now. To get warmed up and to get the stream started, we're going to slide over to tap in with some more of what Warren had to say with regards to Nolan's last day or potentially last days or hours with us. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to tap in and go to part 3 of the interview series. I think 4 parts are out now, but we're going to slide to part 3 and listen to what he says. And then I actually have an interesting video to follow up us reacting to what Warren has to say that kind of breaks down what we're looking at and not just what we're listening to. So let's get into it.
All right, so I want to be clear with this one thing, because I know you mentioned before, is there any chance or any knowledge that you have that
But anyway, Nolan, that was the last.
But something
Nolan lit up every room he walked in. 4th of July, everybody was out there. Nolan rode out on the Triton, and then we had a Palm Beach, 18 Palm Beach. There was 4 guys on that. The rest of the group, which was ranged from maybe 10 to 15 or 16 people on my buddy's tide line.
Yeah, so y'all pretty much having a good time. And then you guys get ready to leave prematurely.
Right.
And like, what? Explain that, because you guys got there around 10.
Yeah.
It's now 4:30.
Right.
People are still out there partying and
Right.
they're having a good time, but something happened to where it necessitated you guys to get the boat up and running. Can you explain that?
Yeah. So I looked out, I had a girl come up to me and say, "Hey, your brother just got in a fight." And obviously I have a younger brother, and that's what she was talking about. And I was freaked out. So I walked over to the beach, and I didn't walk over. I ran over. I made a beeline. I didn't talk to anybody, put my drink down and walked over there. And my brother was
already. So we not gonna mow through this. I got time already. So somebody comes over to him, says his younger brother got into a fight. He walked over, then he ran over, he made a beeline, then he walked over. Let's listen to I was gonna say Nolan. Forgive me, Lord. Let's listen to Warren's speech pattern and pay close attention to what's going on here.
Still out there partying and
Correct.
they're having a good time, but something happened to where it necessitated you guys to get the boat up and running. Can you explain that?
Yeah. So I looked out, I had a girl come up to me and say, "Hey, your brother just got in a fight." And obviously I have a younger brother, and that's who she was talking about. And I was freaked out. So I walked over to the beach, and I didn't walk over. I ran over. I made a beeline. I didn't talk to anybody, put my drink down and walked over there. And my brother was kind of angry, and, there was a lot going on, but someone was getting pulled away. I don't know who it was. And my brother was like, oh, I just got in a fight, and this guy punched me in the face, and I punched him right back. And then went to the ground, and my brother put him in an armbar. And
was Nolan involved in any of this?
Absolutely not. When I was over there, it was a bunch of younger guys like my brother's age. And I mean, Nolan, I never saw Nolan over there. Yeah. Absolutely not. And, okay, sorry, I just lost my train of thought.
So you get ready to go. There's an issue with the boat.
Okay, yeah.
And this is what
this led up to that. That's what I'm saying.
So the fight happened with your brother, or a little scuffle. I'm assuming that it was cleared up.
Right.
You got your brother out of that situation, and then how did you find out that this boat is sinking?
Well, I walk back over, and like we're probably around each other for a little bit. I mean, I wasn't thinking anything about it. I pulled my brother off the beach, and I was just like, listen, get in the water, hang out with us, calm down. I mean, he was calm, but I didn't want anything else to happen, And so once I got back over the boat, I got on the Triton, and the Triton had probably about 6 inches of water up to the transom.
Okay, so Warren, up until this point, we know that he wasn't on the same boat as Nolan up until this point. Here's the point where Warren puts himself on the Triton, which is the boat that Nolan rode to Horn Island on, which was the boat that I believe Wyatt was on as well. Let's continue.
And I was freaked out because I'm good friends with Wyatt, and that was his boat. And, no water's coming out, no access water's coming out. And, it was a big issue because I think the reason was because there were so many people getting on and off the boat. And at some point, the boat was very, very crowded, and there was just a lot of people on. So that it drags water in. And eventually, I think over time, we were out there for a couple hours, the boat just started filling up with water. So I popped the starboard side hatch, and the battery was completely underwater. And so the motor wouldn't trim down. I mean, my buddy would go to trim it down from the console, and it'd trim down, and then it'd come right back up. And so Wyatt's trying to throw a rear anchor, so we're caught, and he's, yelling at people. Everybody's kind of freaking out. And eventually I'm like yelling at other people, trying to tell them, calm down. Like, the boat could possibly sink, and I'm not paying attention to everyone around me. I was paying attention to my buddy's boat. And that's what all my other friends that were on that boat were doing, trying to solve the problem.
So you're on the boat now. The water's getting up to the point where the boat may be disabled to where you couldn't get it out from Horn Island. So what happens after that?
Wyatt jumps in the water, tries to throw a rear anchor, and my buddy Meyer, you're sitting.
Jump cut. Come on, chat. They're not going to get nothing past me. Inspector Classic. We not getting nothing past. Come on, man. This the third episode I done covered, and every last one of them got jump cut.
Classic.
It's real nasty when you trying to absolve yourself of guilt or prove or sustain your so-called innocence. Everything alleged for content creation purposes of entertainment is nasty when you putting out these interviews to tell your side of the story, to essentially show your innocence, and you got it edited. Why isn't this played straight through? Why are there jump cuts on every single one of these? You know what I'm saying? It's a bad look.
Anchor, and my buddy Meyer, you're sitting.
You said your buddy bye. Just jump. That's nasty, chat. Nasty work. Let me see what y'all talking about real quick, and then we're gonna go to the rest of it. What we talking about? Timothy Taylor said, Officer Tatum got to be the most off-code FBA in the United States. What's going on, Miss Chi-Town? She said, hey, chat 333. What's going on? Ted said, lies, Warren. Queen said, I believe this fight really happened on the boat with Nolan. Yeah, I think it's I've seen that notion. Makes sense to me. Crypto said he is not FBA. He is of Caribbean descent. Ted said he's making this story up as he talks. I think he's scripted, to be honest with you. Queen said that's what we've been saying since the beginning. Nolan got on that boat. Yep, we've been saying that since the beginning. Queen said, why wasn't this done live? And he really wanted to prove his innocence. Absolutely. Let's go.
Looking, trying to pull trash out the bilge, and the bilge is basically a pump that pulls the access water out the boat. So the bilge was failing to work. So any excess water was just sitting in the boat. It wasn't getting pumped out. And I looked over the gunnel and I looked at the release hole for the bilge, and it was even with the water. So, I mean, we're all freaking out. All of our, we're not focused on anything else other than the boat. Well, then eventually my buddy Bart on the tide line is like, I'm going to pull y'all out to where we're out of all this, all this chaos. Cause we left at 4:30 and there were still just as many people there, if not more than when we got there. I mean, probably around the same amount. I mean, it was crazy. Like there was a lot of people. And, I mean, eventually Bart pulls us out. We left at 4:30, but we really weren't pulled out away from everybody. We were probably about a quarter mile out, and we had the towing strap pulled from, Bart's port side cleat or starboard side cleat, and he was on our starboard side bow. And so it was rubbing on his power pole. So Bart turned around, pulled up next to our boat, and we were just trying to get it situated. So that's when Wyatt called Cito, and Wyatt was like,
interesting. We got him, chat. Let's let him talk.
Calls him, because the cell service isn't great at the island, but you can use your phone, but stuff might not descend. And it's not great. You got maybe one bar, it won't work that well. But once you get a little off the island, you have cell coverage. And even on the island, like I called my mom when we were on the island, it was fine. Like we had enough cell coverage to make a phone call or shoot a text over, but you don't have enough cell coverage to like send a picture, for example. So what?
So I want to go back.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I want to touch on that real quick because the phone thing came up at some point. And so was it when you guys got off the boat?
Yeah.
I mean, were people taking their phones off the boat, or is that not typical? Because I know that Nolan's phone was left on the boat,
right?
Even though after you guys had left. So can you explain that? Because I think people need to understand this a little clearer.
Yeah.
Was it typical for people to have their phones left on boats, or did they keep their phones in the water? Or?
Yeah. I mean, everybody kind of goes out.
Jump cut. Now that was actually a reasonable question. He has like one per episode. That was actually a reasonable question, but another jump cut. Why?
Left on boats, or did they keep their phones in the water? Or?
Yeah. I mean, everybody kind of goes out to the island to get away from.
I don't like it, chat. I don't like it, chat. Why is that part edited right there? Why he can't answer that straight away? A person who did nothing wrong, person who has nothing to do with anything, person who's just given their accounts of the day that they had of complete innocence. Why is it so spotty? Why is this edited so crazy? Fishy.
Their phones and everything else. I know I got on the boat to get away from, just the regular world. And no, when you're waist deep in water, no one's carrying their phone in their hand, especially at Horn Island. The water has been very, very murky because of the rain. And when it's just very risky. If you're gonna have your phone in the water, some people might for a couple minutes and like maybe taking some pictures of each other. I know a lot of girls like to take pictures in the water at Horn Island. Guys do too. Like people like to take pictures, and but a lot of the pictures you see are on the boat for a reason. And so, no, I mean, if someone is on their phone in the water, they're using it real quick and then putting it right back on the boat. We were all waist deep in water. No one's sitting there scrolling on their phone. I never saw that once. And I've never seen that once. And I've been out the Highland my whole life. I mean, that's just not something people do. People aren't on their phones. And everybody has their phone, yes, but it's always on the boat. No one's getting off the boat with their phone. So
you notice that Warren conveniently was able to tell his story about the boat issues to the point where he has discussed with us the specifics of the boat issue, the location of the battery, the amount of water, what a bilge pump is, what a bilge pump does, but at no point has he given us a description about the attendants on the boat. As they're troubleshooting the boat, how many people are on the boat? As you're troubleshooting the boat, when did the conversation about Nolan wanting to stay back with Katie occur? As you're troubleshooting the boat around 4:30 and you decide to have your buddy pull your boat out prior to you calling Cito, as you guys depart from the area, had you had this interaction with Nolan already? Did you realize when you guys pulled off that Nolan's phone was on the boat? When you guys started being pulled off from the dock prior to calling Cito, were you still on the Triton, or did you get back on the boat that you rode there with? Ton of questions that went unasked. And so because they went unasked, they went unanswered. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of talking about nothing. A lot of talking about nothing. This helped nothing. Look at his face. Look at his face. If you thought he was guilty of something, you probably still do. This did nothing at all. Classic. So many questions. So many. You see how he conveniently told the story about how the boat got from the dock or wherever they had it anchored or however they had it tied up to where they were located when they called for the tow, which would explain the ping on the GPS, right? Wherever they were located when they called CTOW and then eventually canceled their call from CTOW, which we'll get to in a moment later in this live stream in great detail. I can't wait, actually, right? They conveniently left out the attendance conversation. No discussion was had here about the attendance on the boat. So hopefully they get to it. But right now, I don't like it, chat. Word salad. Everybody put the dressing that you're putting on your word salad for the day. Everybody drop the dressing that you're using for the day in the chat. We're going to read them dressings off for the word salad. Let's go.
And so you guys get ready to leave out of there, getting towed out. Yeah. And then where's Nolan in this situation?
Well, Nolan was...
There we go.
The last time I saw Nolan was 3 o'clock. And Nolan was cradling a girl in his arms, Katie. Katie. And Katie, Nolan was sitting there. And the last time I saw...
Cuts eyes left. Katie, Katie. Cuts eyes left. Let's go. Watch his body language, chat.
Was cradling a girl in his arms.
Watch his eyes. They say when you lie, you cut your eyes to the left. I'm going to put this in slow motion for you, chat. We're gonna make this shit forensic today. I got time, cuz. Watch this, chat.
Katie. Katie. And Katie, Nolan was sitting there, and the last time I saw him, I looked at Nolan, and Nolan was like shaking his head, laughing, and I was like, dude, you crazy. I was like just joking with him. And but anyway, Nolan, that was the last time I laid eyes on him. But when we were leaving, obviously, no one is getting left at the island that came with us unless they demanded to, be there and asked, this is a very common thing at Horn Island. When you're out there, a lot of people ride out there with someone and in with somebody else all the time. I've done that 100 times. It's a very common thing. But Nolan was sitting by the boat with that Katie girl, and my buddy yelled for Nolan, get on the boat. We're leaving. The boat's having issues. And no, he didn't say that, but he was panicking. Nolan, get the F on the boat. Get on the boat. And Nolan said, no, I'm staying out here. I'm going to ride in with somebody else. And it's not uncommon to hear, but it's not like my buddy asked him one time. My buddy asked Nolan multiple times to get on the boat. Nolan, get on the boat.
What's your buddy's name? We need the name of the buddy. Why is his name my buddy? Who's the buddy?
But it's not like my buddy asked him one time. My buddy asked Nolan multiple times to get on the boat. Nolan, get on the boat. Get on the boat. We're leaving. If you're coming, you got to come now. And Nolan made a decision to stay out on the island. And like he said,
how many people heard that? Were there
at least
just
5. Everyone that was on our boat right there, because the Palm Beach had already left. My buddy went ahead and went home on the Palm Beach, and 3 guys on the way back. And Nolan wasn't the only person to ride out there with us and in with somebody else. We had multiple people in our group that rode out with us and rode in on someone else's boat.
How many of them left their cell phone? How many of them car keys you had? The multiple people that rode in with y'all and rode in with somebody else, all of them came home alive. Nolan did not. And how many of their cell phones did you have? And how many of their car keys did you have? I need to know.
And that, like I said, that's not an uncommon thing to do. A lot of people do that. I could name probably 50 people out there that day that ran out with somebody and ran back in with somebody else.
But they made it though. Warren. They made it, Warren. They made it home.
So, it's not like it's an uncommon thing, but it's not like we just left him there or my friends just left him there. Nolan made a decision to stay on the island after my friends asked him multiple times and told him to get on the boat, and he decided to stay.
And I heard the girl that he was with, Katie, had text somebody that she heard people yelling for Nolan to get on. Is that true?
And I have a picture of that. She texted my buddy. And the next day, everybody was panicking and everybody's texting Katie, because she was obviously seen with Nolan the whole day at the island. Katie sent a message to my buddy the next day and said, this is the last time I saw him. You know, he's really sweet. But she also mentioned that the last time she saw Nolan was when my buddy was yelling at him to get on the boat. And she was
Jump cut. Jump cut. It ain't just a camera angle switch. They trying to hide the jump cuts with the angle switch of the camera. Listen to the audio, chat. Jump cut. This shit real murky, man.
Also mentioned that the last time she saw Nolan was when my buddy was yelling at him to get on the boat. And she was right there to see that Nolan decided not to.
Yeah, and so you got
either the editor's ass or that's a jump cut.
Get in the boat, you start to get towed in, and you make it back. Now explain how did you get to the point where you were concerned about Nolan? Because obviously you said, hey, Nolan, y'all need to, or somebody, not
when
you,
did I get
but
to that point?
You guys had made mention Nolan needed to get on a boat.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Yeah.
You guys get back to wherever you're going.
Right.
Explain that. Did you guys go back to somebody's house, or you guys like what happened there? And then when did you feel like, well, wait a minute, where's Nolan?
Right. Okay. Well, running in was very chaotic. I mean, Nolan chose to stay on the island, so my focus wasn't on anything else other than the boat, you know, because if the boat doesn't get in, then no one gets in. You know, I don't want to sneak out there on my buddy's boat, and no one does. But my buddy Wyatt jumped out and pulled the plug on the boat once we kind of got out there, because he got the motor to trim down. And the motor trimmed down, my buddy Wyatt pulled the plug, and we planed off. We moved all the way to the front of the boat so we could plane off. And eventually we planed off. The boat was running. So when you're planed off and you have water in the boat and you're hauling, you know, we're going pretty fast. We're going probably 40, 42 miles an hour. And so all that excess water that was built up in the boat is coming out of the boat. So, I mean, that's what we had to do. So we ran into Fort Bayou, and we didn't just run straight to my buddy's grandparents' house. We ran into Fort Bayou. A couple of us jumped in the water, and Wyatt, like, the whole reason for the stop was so Wyatt could hop in and put the plug back in the boat. So then after that, we went and docked it, and I went back to my buddy's house, and we ate and, you know, napped for a little bit. It was a long day at the island, so, you know, we were all tired. And eventually we go over to, you know, a girlfriend of mine. She was having people over for 4th of July. We were doing like fireworks and stuff. So we all went over there to swim and, you know, hang out. And
this infamous picture that I've seen online of Nolan in the water in the swimming pool.
Yeah.
Where is this picture associated with? Because you said you guys went back to swim. Nolan wasn't with you. Yeah. So where's this picture at? Like, what is it? What's the context around that picture that's been floating?
That picture is taken on June 27th, a week before the 4th of July. We all went to a friend of ours in Pass Christian.
Hey guys, I want to just theorize real quick, just speculation. If somebody's trying to do a brilliant job of covering something up and they want to throw you off the scent, let's say this is just, follow me real quick. If Nolan rides back on the boat, because a lot of us believe Nolan got on the boat. I still don't believe Warren at all, actually, about most of what he's saying, to be honest with you. But let's say Nolan got on the boat and made it back to land. And let's say there was a pool party, right? And let's say Nolan was allegedly harmed at said pool party. To throw anybody off the scent of looking into a pool party, let's post a picture of a pool party that happened earlier to debunk the thought process of a pool party at all. Just me letting my mind wander, right? Could that picture that was debunked have been something to throw us off and hiding in plain sight at the same time? Kind of just theorizing. We're gonna find out the truth regardless, but just thinking.
Got a lot of friends from Bay St. Louis, Pass Christian. We all went over there to hang out. And, you know,
and Nolan was in that picture.
Nolan was in that picture. And if you look in the picture, my arm is around Nolan in that picture, you know? And, I mean, that was a week before the 4th of July. So that picture is not associated within even the same. I mean, that was like a week before. So, yeah.
So you guys are now at swimming and having a good time at a lady friend's house.
Right. I never got to the pool. I talked to her dad for a while. Okay. And, I mean, all my friends were downstairs. I went upstairs, talked to her dad. We're talking about boats and stuff.
So he did go to a pool party. After Horn Island, he did go to a pool party.
Stuff, and, you know, I've been with my friends all day. I was just talking to everybody. But
so you talked to the young lady's dad, and then how long was it before you realized, or you guys realized that, well, where's Nolan at?
I mean, I went back downstairs and all my friends were just hanging out, and my buddy Wyatt had addressed, talking about Nolan. And I was like, well, where is Nolan? Have y'all heard from him? And he was like, no, we haven't.
So you went downstairs and in some way, somehow, your buddy Wyatt was talking about Nolan. What was he saying about Nolan? What was Wyatt saying about Nolan that prompted you to say, well, have you guys talked to Nolan? Well, of course you guys haven't fucking talked to Nolan. Y'all got his phone. You see what I'm saying? Gotcha. All we got to do is let him talk. Come on, man. Let's go back. Run the tape. Let's go back.
How long was it before you realized, or you guys realized that, where's Nolan at?
I mean, I went back downstairs and all my friends were just hanging out, and my buddy Wyatt had addressed, talking about Nolan. And I was like, well, where is Nolan? Have y'all heard from him?
Your buddy Wyatt had addressed talking about Nolan. What was that? What was that? You came downstairs and Wyatt was talking about, you came downstairs and Wyatt had Nolan's name in his mouth. Why? What was Wyatt saying about Nolan that prompted you to say, well, damn, well, what about Nolan? Where is Nolan? Has anybody talked to Nolan? And y'all know y'all got Nolan's phone.
And he was like, no, we haven't. And I was like, okay, well, it's a little concerning. Like, I mean, I'm not freaking out or anything, but like,
he just smirked a little bit, chat. We watching everything.
Well, where is Nolan? Have y'all heard from him? And he was like,
mind you, ain't nothing funny about talking about your dead best friend, right? Ain't nothing funny about that, chat.
No, we haven't. And I was like, okay, well, it's a little concerning. Like, I mean, I'm not freaking out or anything, but like, I'm trying to find out where Nolan is. So I texted Javon and I was like, hey, and also a couple other buddies that I had at the island. I was like, hey, have y'all seen Nolan? Did he ride in with y'all? And all the buddies were like, no. Well, I texted Javon and I was like, hey, can you send me Miss Christine's number? Because I hadn't heard from Nolan. And if she hasn't heard from Nolan, then I'm calling the Coast Guard. And so
at no point on this manhunt for Nolan did anybody address the fact that y'all got his phone. Man, these boys going to jail, chat.
So eventually, Javon sends me her number.
Who is her? That's
Miss Christine.
Miss Christine is
Nolan's mom.
Nolan's mom.
Yeah. And I walked down to the dock because, I mean, there was a lot of people today. It was not a lot, but, there was probably 15 of our friends there. And I was just like, walk down to the dock with a couple of my buddies. And I got on the phone. I called Miss Christine, called her the first time. She didn't answer. I called her a second time. And I got on the phone with her. And I asked her if she had heard from Nolan. She said no. And I said, all right, well, don't freak out. I'm going to call the Coast Guard. And this was at about 11 o'clock.
So what's your intent in calling the Coast Guard, right? Because right now, Nolan could be with a chick. He could be with somebody else.
Right.
He could have gone back with somebody else. What made you concerned enough that you felt like you couldn't weigh it out anymore? You had to call the Coast Guard.
Well, I mean, like I said, my friends and I have been on the water our whole life. Stuff happens. People die all the time. I know people that have died out there. And, it's a fun place to be, but it's also a very, very dangerous place to be if you're not handling it right. And Nolan, so I hadn't heard from him. And obviously, I'm thinking I'd way rather be safe than sorry.
So he's experienced with these cover-ups. People die out there all the time, chat. Listen to him.
You concerned enough that you felt like you couldn't weigh it out anymore. You had to call the Coast Guard.
Well, I mean, like I said, my friends and I have been on the water our whole life. Stuff happens. People die all the time. I know people that have died out there. And, it's a fun place to be, but it's also a very, very dangerous place to be if you're not handling it right. And Nolan, so I hadn't heard from him. And obviously, I'm thinking I'd way rather be safe than sorry. I mean, I would rather call the Coast Guard 100 times and lose my mind over it, and my buddy be okay, than, not, and, me not know where he is and him not be okay. And so I called the Coast Guard and I talked to them on the phone for like 20 minutes, gave him a description, what Nolan was wearing, the last place we were at, the last time I saw him, who were we with, what boat we were on, the conditions of the water, just a summary. And I called Miss Christine back after and I talked to her and I said, I got to contact the Coast Guard. I'm not sure who she called or, what she did, but.
So he hit up Javon for Miss Christine's number. But when Miss Christine was looking for Nolan, she called Javon's mama. Javon's mama hit up Javon to see if Javon seen Nolan. But according to my recollection, and I could be wrong, but according to my recollection, when Javon mama called him to see if he had seen Nolan, she stated that Javon was surprised by it. So if that's the case, how y'all... Somebody lying about something. Somebody lying about something. Christine Wansley said she reached out to Javon mama. Javon reached out to Jalen and Javon. When she talked to Javon, he was with his girl. I feel like I'm recollecting this properly. He was with his girl. And he was like, wait, what? Nolan missing? Like, woo out the blase. So he was surprised. He wouldn't be surprised by that phone call from his mama saying Nolan missing if he already talked to Warren about Nolan missing. And if he sent Warren Miss Christine number. So I need the timeline on that too. If this is supposed to be true, I need the timeline on that. That connection between when did Warren talk to Javon versus when Javon got the call from his mama, because Warren talking about he called Miss Christine and then he called the Coast Guard. So Miss Christine ain't seen him. So he called Miss Christine first and then called the Coast Guard. So I'm trying to put that together because this shit ain't adding up. This shit got to be a lie. This shit not adding up. It's too much. It's too many jump cuts. It's too much stuttering and shit. And then it's too much random shit. You come downstairs, Wyatt just talking about Nolan. And then y'all start looking for Nolan because now you inquiring about Nolan because you heard his name. All of a sudden, y'all instantly just on a manhunt for Nolan. And don't nobody bring up the fact that y'all can't actually reach Nolan because Nolan is without his phone because y'all got it. You see what I'm saying? Man, these boys been lying from square one. Don't forget they had lawyers before that body was picked up. I'm going to remind y'all on every segment I do. These boys had lawyers before the body was found. Remember that part. Don't forget that part. They would love for you to conveniently forget that part. The boys been moving guilty from square one. I know some bullshit when I smell it.
I think she said she was going to make a couple phone calls to either DMR or Jackson County Sheriff's Office. And I was thinking worst case scenario. Like, I would way rather be safe than sorry about this,
Yeah. So you called. So it seems like you called mom immediately.
Right.
Probably the first phone call that she got from anybody.
That's the first phone call, like at least I made. And I would assume that's the first phone call she got from anybody because Javon hadn't called her. And, there's nothing wrong with that, but Javon hadn't called her. And, I was just worried about my friend. Stuff happens out there, boat problems. It could be anything. But, there's a lot of stuff that happens out there. And I was just worried about my friend.
And so you guys make that call, nothing that night. And I'm assuming you wake up the next day and then what happens?
I wake up the next day at about 7:30 and my dad had texted me because obviously Nolan's photo was all over Facebook. And, I just saw it everywhere and I was freaked out because I was like, oh my gosh, I assumed, Nolan's just, we had been drinking all day and that he's just sleeping somewhere and, that he's okay. But I didn't want to believe that if we didn't know for sure. So, next day I woke up and my stepdad walked to my room. He said, hey, have they heard anything about Nolan? What's going on? Cause I hadn't spoke to him and he was like, I was like, yeah, no, I don't know. I had just gotten up and he was like, all right, well, we're going and getting on the boat and looking for him. And I was like, okay, yeah. So I got my buddy Ricky, I got my buddy Brooks, I got my buddy Jax. My mom came on the boat with my stepdad and I, and we all went out there and looked. Photo was all over Facebook. And, I just saw it everywhere and I was freaked out because I was like, oh my gosh, I assumed, Nolan's just, we had been drinking all day and that he's just sleeping somewhere and, that he's okay. But I didn't want to believe that if we didn't know for sure. So, next day I woke up and my stepdad walked in my room. He said, hey, have they heard anything about Nolan? What's going on? Cause I hadn't spoke to him and he was like, I was like, yeah, no, I don't know. I had just gotten up and he was like, all right, well, we're going and getting on the boat and looking for him. And I was like, okay, yeah. So I got my buddy Ricky, I got my buddy Brooks, I got my buddy Jax. My mom came on the boat with my stepdad and I, and we all went out there and looked. When I got out there was dozens of DMR boats, helicopters, planes flying over Horn Island. And this wasn't just Horn Island. There was also Ship Island they were looking at.
Y'all went out there looking for him or y'all went out there to see if it was cool to drop them off? Did y'all go out there looking for them, or did y'all go out there to see if it was a good time to drop them off? It's just a question. Everything alleged, all speculation.
I'm sure in Chandelier Island, Petty Boy. I mean, it wasn't just Horn Island specifically, but where I was at Horn, there were boats everywhere, and not just like random boats, but like, you know, marine resource boats and, you know, cops and, you know, the whole nine. Like, it wasn't like there was just a couple boats looking for Nolan. There was planes and helicopters and, you know, everybody. So,
and then after this, you know, obviously they didn't find Nolan that day.
Right.
And so what was your reaction like when you heard the news, or how did you hear the news that they found Nolan's body?
Well, the next day, well, it got to be about 1 o'clock on July 5th. And I was like, my mind started to turn. I was like, man, you know, if he's not awake yet, like, where is he? Like, you know, like I got very, very worried. And, you know, I was with my buddy Brooks the next day, and we're driving, and
he ain't talk about the breakfast they went and had. Why he ain't talk about that? How they went to go get breakfast on July 5th in the morning. He said him, his peoples, they got on the boat to go look for Nolan. He ain't talk about that breakfast him and the homies had, though. Interesting.
My buddies were texting my group chat. They were like, hey, listen, I got a phone call from my buddy Trace, and he was like, hey, man, they just found his body. And I was like, I wanted to have hope, but it was really, really hard to have hope when they haven't found your buddy in the last 2 days. And, but there's still a little bit of hope there, you know, like maybe, you know, he's not gone, and maybe, you know, he's okay. But my reaction was just, I was with my buddy Brooks, and I broke down. I mean, I haven't experienced death a lot, but especially with someone I'm as close.
You haven't experienced death a lot. You just told us about all the homies that you know that died on the water. You just got done telling us that people die out there in the water all the time, and that you knew people that died out there. Now you haven't experienced death a lot. You just got done telling us that you ain't new to this, you true to this. Am I capping, or is this shit not on video? It's on video. It's recorded. He just got done telling us that people die out there all the time. It's a fun place, but it's also a very dangerous place if you don't handle it properly, and that he knows people who has died out there before. Now he talking about he haven't dealt with death a lot.
Oh, nigga, you know what's up. We kept the file.
Come on, man. Lie to your mama, dog.
With his Nolan, and I mean, I broke down, and I sat there on my buddy Brooks' shoulder, and I cried, and I was upset. I made a couple phone calls to my buddies and checked up on my buddies, because, you know, I care about my buddies too. I mean, like, we're all experienced this. Like, we all realized at the same time. We all heard the news at the same time. Like, you know, he's gone, and so it was really, really hard on me. I mean, I've never experienced something like this, and it was traumatic. I mean, I could tell you where and when I was there when I got that phone call. You know, where I was, and I just remember, like, it was insane. Like, I can't even put into words how upset I was, you know, and how upset my friends were. So,
and then
you got to understand how sociopaths work, chat. I'm pretty sure I've broken down sociopaths on my channel at some point already, but these people, they don't feel shit. You understand what I'm saying? He probably slept like a baby on July 5th. You feel me? Like, these people look you straight in your face and pass a polygraph. You understand what I'm saying? It's a different type of dangerous, chat. You got to listen before you got to look into the lineage of some of these people and see what their grandpas was on. Yeah, see what their great-granddads was on. You feel me? Go back to some of them old pictures of those public lynchings that they used to take pictures of the bodies and all that. I know it's hard for us to talk about and look at as color folks. You know what I'm saying? But go back to some of them old pictures. See if some of these people's great-granddads was in them photos, and if they grandmas was in them photos, or if their grandpa as a child was in. These people used to bring their kids to the lynchings. You understand what I'm saying? The lineage don't lie. And you don't just kill off that type of hate and savagery and debauchery and nonsense with one generation of kumbaya and hum. It just don't just go away like that. It doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? Segregation happened in the 1960s. That shit wasn't even 100 years ago. It's when integration took place. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't even 100 years ago. It ain't even been a century. And yet and still you think 1,000 years of hatred just washed away, that the majority of these people got love for everybody and don't see color and all that shit, these people will look you in your face and serve you a glass of lemonade, man. And if they catch you alone, they'll do you a disservice. Let me tell you something about the devil, man. Man, come on, dog.
It comes to stories and backlash and the craziness. And you guys are now hearing that you're responsible for it. You did it. You killed Nolan. So what was the next step? Did you guys ever engage with police or?
Yeah. So the first time I talked to the police was July 7th. I talked to the lead investigator and I told him my whole story, top to bottom, dotted every I.
Damn, that's convenient. Damn, that's convenient. You went out with Nolan that day. You his best buddy, and the lead investigator ain't get to you till July 7th. They found him on the 6th. Somebody should have talked to you on the 6th. No cap. Got a whole extra, you feel me? And especially if you knew he was gone, allegedly. If you knew he was gone on the 4th, 3 days to get your story straight. Shit, that's convenient.
Crossed every T. I told them everything.
But that's what happened when don't nobody get arrested.
I knew every little detail. I mean, everything I could, tell them to try to figure something out,
Well, you don't want to talk to the cops or
no, of course not.
Guys?
Every person that was included, especially, the guys that you see on social media, everybody cooperated with the police fully. Nolan was with us on the way out and he rode out on the boats with us. So, I mean, we were the first people to get questioned. I mean, we cooperated with the police the first time they called us and, we talked to them, as soon as they needed, and we were fully cooperative.
And we see Benjamin Crump coming to town, made it about race.
Right.
What's your feeling about that? Do you think that any of this has anything to do with race or, because I mean, obviously something happened to Nolan. It appears that you guys may not have been involved at all. When I say may not, it's no evidence that you were involved at all. You guys had left. Right. But do you think that there's a racial component to any of this?
Of course not. I mean, I think if Nolan ever felt the most little bit uncomfortable.
Come on, gang. You in Mississippi, they ask you is there in any type of a racial component, and your response is, of course not, is crazy. You in Mississippi, gang. Of course not is definitely crazy. You feel me? A more realistic answer, if he wanted this to come off genuine in Mississippi and he asked about race, right? You would address it candidly and be like, there's a lot of instances where we're from where that could be a thing. But in this particular situation, there's no way I could see that being a thing. And here's why, right? My man said, of course not. Of course not is not even on the fucking multiple choice selection of race questions in Mississippi. It's not even on the A, B, C, or D. Of course not ain't a select. It's not even there. Nasty work. Listen, whoever the publicist was or the lawyer that they got that coached them on what to answer, what not to answer, how to be evasive, what things to lean into, what things to stay away from. Listen, they got to do a better job. They got to do a better job. I don't know if they got to go watch some more episodes, a Scandal or How to Get Away with Murder or something. You know what I'm saying? This what happened when you pass law school with AI. Whoever put his script together, terrible job. Terrible job. You know what I'm saying? And thank you. Because these boys going to jail. If they did anything wrong, allegedly, if they did anything wrong, all speculation, all satire, all alleged. But if they did anything wrong, they going to jail.
Around us, which we never gave him a reason to, but if he did, he wouldn't hang out around us. But if you go look on, like my friends have had Nolan posted all over our social medias, since freshman year in high school. Like if Nolan ever felt uncomfortable with us, why would he be hanging out with us all the time? I mean, every day we're back from college, we hang out and we're around each other all the time. So absolutely not. I would never look at Nolan any other way than I would any of my other friends. I mean, he was like a brother to me.
You guys had been interviewed by law enforcement. All of you guys have given statements. But then I think that there's a part associated with this that's being rumored out in the public, and that is the situation with the cell phone, potential deletion of messages. When did that occur, and what happened there?
So I'll cover the rest of this probably tomorrow. I'll cover part 4 where he gets to the cell phone questions and all of that. But yeah, all in all, I could see some of what y'all saying in the chat. Aside from the trolls and the people who are wasting their time worrying about what black people got on their minds, aside from that, the people who are engaging in the conversation, I can see that a lot of y'all aren't buying the BS either. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate y'all chat. We going super chats guaranteed for sure. Super chats guaranteed because it's too crazy in the chat for me to pick through. Super chatting $4.99 from Nikisha. She said, why they don't offer to take the father out there? The father had to go with the coach. What you mean? You said why they didn't offer to take the father out there? The father, all you talking about to go look for Nolan? I don't know. That's a good question. That's a damn good question. But you know what? I think we know the answer though. I think we know the answer. Let me see. John Murphy said, wash your locks. You can't grow locks. That's jealousy, chat. Let me see. My locks smell like rose water and avocado oil and a little bit of your girl. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Miss Carmen said the father went there to get his son's keys. That was it. Yeah, I don't know if they necessarily was trying to be around them either. Let me see here. 10 Jules, appreciate it. I'm just scrolling through reading some of y'all chats real quick. Let's move off of this, man. When you catch this on the rewatch, let me know what y'all think in regards to Warren doubling down on his story, doubling down on blame, or not blaming Katie, but pointing to Katie as the person that Nolan stayed back with. Let me know what y'all think about it. I think I see a lot of what's going on in the live chat. Unanimously, people don't believe Warren. So, yeah, we will see how things unfold. Let's move. All right, I got an interesting video for y'all. All right, so we're going to tap into Willie D. Willie D got a channel, and he's been covering Nolan Wells as well. He actually got a psychotherapist to come in on his channel and analyze Warren's interview. And the psychotherapist is going to break down from a technical analysis standpoint why exactly Warren is or isn't being genuine about his accounts of what all occurred. All right, so we're going to listen to this take. I'm going to speed it up a little bit because these brothers are, I believe, Southern, so they talk a little bit slow. I'm going to speed it up a little bit, and we're going to listen to this. Let's go.
Your comments about that interview and what you thought of to better help us understand the actions of the people involved, the actions and the communication of those involved, right? So, Elliot, you saw the Warren Hudson interview, and yes. I saw your comments. I heard your comments about that interview and what you thought of Warren and his answers and his behavior, his expressions, his disposition. Can you share your thoughts with our audience?
Yeah, I mean, somebody sent me the video, and to be honest, man, I did not intend to be following this story as closely as I've ended up following the story. Mm-hmm. But my heart goes out to this family. My heart goes out to this kid. And somebody sent me the video that was done of the Warren kid doing the interview. And as a practicing psychotherapist, I've been a practicing psychotherapist for almost 20 years. I've worked with literally thousands of people that are struggling with grief and loss issues. And while it's true, every human being processes loss and every human being does grief differently, it is also true that there are some pretty commonality things that you look for that let you know that someone is appropriately handling a loss and dealing with a loss and experiencing a loss. And some of the things that stood out to me were just, I mean, quite frankly, alarming. Now, to be honest with you, I have no earthly idea what the truth is. I'm just as lost as everybody else. But there are certain things I would confidently say based on my clinical experience. Number one, that interview was rehearsed and scripted. And you could tell because he was repeating phrases. Like, think about an athlete, for example, when they get interviewed for a press conference. And they have PR people who work for the whatever team they play for. They will tell them, make sure you get these points out. Regardless what the interviewer is asking, make sure you get these points out. It was clear to me that he had been coached to say how close he was to Nolan. Classic. Because he repeatedly referred to Nolan as my brother.
And best friend.
And best friend. It was like the theme he was trying to get out. Nolan and I are very, very close. It was also very clear to me that he had been coached to explain the damage to the boat because he had like extraordinary level of detail about that boat. And if you think back to when you were 18, when I had a car, my first car when I was 18, the car broke down, and like if somebody said what happened to the car, I don't know, the thing broke. But he was like, the bilge was doing this and doing this and doing this. Like, so that stood out to me. The other thing that stood out to me was the absolute absence of emotion, which again, everybody does grief differently. But to lose someone that you have repeatedly referred to as your best friend and brother, to lose someone like that, just 2 weeks ago. The funeral that you did not attend was just 2 days prior. And you are talking about this with absolutely no emotion. That is absolutely weird. Now, when I talk about emotion, people need to really understand what I mean. And I'm talking about any emotion. He should, even if he's completely innocent, he should have the emotion of, I hate that I'm sitting in these accusations and couldn't go to the funeral.
That's how Javon sounds. Javon sounds like that. I'm hurting from a loss of my true best friend. I am hurting, and it hurts even worse. It is even harder to deal with this because people are trying to say that I somehow have something to do with it, and it just sucks so bad. That's what I've been hearing from Javon. You know what Javon also did? He put on his 5 Browns, ironed his collared shirt, and he went to his man's funeral like he was supposed to. That's what Javon did. When I did my reaction to Javon, but y'all can get it here at the Classic Codes. But when I did my reaction to his initial interview, I said, I don't know how, what all is going on, but I will say this. That is a friend. That is a friend. This man, Warren, hasn't sounded like, listen, if the last time I seen my homie was on the beach at Horn Island, and it's July, whatever, 18th, 19th, I don't know what day they went to Horn Island, him and Officer Tatum. But if the last time I seen my mans was 2 weeks ago in this very spot, and I know my homie is confirmed dead, coming back to this spot and talking about it gonna do something to me. I'm not gonna be able to just, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna do something. Even if I have to be quiet for a moment to gather myself, or maybe I'm over talking to try to distract myself, or maybe I break down, it's gonna do something to me. My man has no natural human emotion towards the situation. It's just, this what happened. Me and Nolan was close. Like, Nolan was like my brother. Like, Nolan, like, he can't force no tears. We know that. But Warren is like robotic. And that's what I'm trying to tell you, man. The shit screams sociopath. You know what I mean? But let's let the professional speak.
My best friend and brother was buried yesterday, and I didn't want to make it uncomfortable for the family, so I didn't go to the funeral, and I'm broken up about it. He did not say that. He did not say, I'm missing him. And if you think about the level of loss, it's not just losing my best friend and brother. He was very clear. We went to elementary school, middle school, high school together, and even in our first year of college, we continue to talk. So it's not just losing a friend, it's losing someone that's a part of your daily life. So he should have said things like, man, I wake up and I look to my phone expecting a text from him and I haven't gotten that text. Like, that's how you experience loss. He didn't say any of that, which of course is very, very unusual. And maybe the biggest tell, the most concerning thing, I shouldn't call it tell, because I honestly, I don't know what this person is guilty of, but I would bet a lot of money that he's hiding something. He knows something that he's been coached not to say. Maybe there was an accidental death and they don't want him talking about it. Maybe, who knows what, but something he's hiding. And I would bet my clinical professionhood on the fact that
my man said he'll bet his clinical profession on it that dog is hiding something. It's crazy though, because you don't even have to be a clinical professional to see that this man is being disingenuous. The fact that we have a clinical professional here to weigh in on it is just a plus. Classic. And shout out to Willie D for making the connection. Y'all go subscribe to Willie D. Let's go.
Hiding something. And the most alarming thing was, the interview was released in segments. And one of the segments, the interviewer, whose name I don't want to say because I don't support the person, but right. The interviewer brought this person to the actual coast, to the actual island, which at minimum is the last place he saw his best friend. At minimum. At maximum, the place where he witnessed some sort of action or even participated in some sort of action that led to his death. And you went to that exact same spot and you were not triggered in any way, shape, or form. That is psychologically incredibly unusual. To go back to the scene where the last place you saw your best friend, that is absolutely unusual. And I cannot tell you, that just speaking as a clinician, I cannot tell you how many times you do therapy with someone and the parents of a lost child say things like, I can't go into my child's room. They'll say something like, it's been 2 years, I haven't even touched the room. A sibling will say, I haven't gone into my sibling's room. No one has touched the car. They say these things because I know people that like they've lost somebody in a car accident and they no longer will drive on the road because they don't want to drive past the place where their loved one was deceased. And 2 weeks after losing this person, you are standing at the spot, which at minimum is the last place you saw your best friend. That is psychologically very, very odd. And then the last thing I'll say, and then I'll shut up because I'm probably talking too much. But the last
you valid. You know, your point.
The last thing I'll say is, if you watch that interview, and I watched everything I get my hands on. Maybe there's stuff I missed, but I watched everything I get my hands on. The last thing I'll say is, every word Warren said laid all of the blame on Nolan. He, like, for example, he said Nolan was drinking. He didn't say we were drinking. He said Nolan wanted to stay on the island. He didn't say we shouldn't have let him stay on the island alone. So like there was no expression of remorse. Like, man, if I can go back in time, I would have said maybe we don't need to drink today, guys. Or if I can go.
Hey, not gonna lie, the number of likes to the number of views, not even close to right. The like button is totally free. Go ahead and tap in for me, man. I really appreciate it. I know there's a small fraction of y'all that are hate watching. And that's cool. I really don't care about that. But for everybody who got some love for the classic codes, hit like, hit subscribe, and share this to your primary social media platform. And in advance, I definitely appreciate you. Like I said, totally free. I'm not in here dry begging for super chats and none of that. I just want to give y'all this good coverage, but just hit that like button for me. Let's go.
Back in time, I would have fought even harder for Nolan to come home with us. Or I would have said, look, we're a group of 4. How about 2 of us go with the boat and one of us stay with Nolan? Like, but there was no expression of responsibility on his part whatsoever. That's incredibly odd, because even if it's 100% not your fault, a lot of people will say things like, I wish I could have done more. I wish I had answered that phone call when they called me. I wish I didn't have a headache that night and I had gone out with him. Maybe I could have changed the outcome. He didn't talk about any absolutes of changing the outcome even once. And that's very, very odd. That's very strange. You lost your best friend and you have no ability to be like, if I can go back in time, maybe if we'd arrived 10 minutes earlier, 10 minutes later, maybe if my mom had told me the boat was damaged, we never would have been taking it. Man, I wish.
You know why, though? You know why he didn't do any of that? Because when you're guilty, allegedly, when you're guilty, the only thing, especially of something this heinous, and I'm not calling them guilty, this is alleged and this is just speculation. But if you're allegedly guilty of something this bad, that is clearly if you were found guilty, it would alter everything about it would turn your world upside down. Lord knows how much time you'd spend behind bars, most of your natural born life, probably, right? If you're guilty of something so egregious and you have to do an interview that is designed to corroborate your story that is supposed to give you innocence, that's your only focus. The human side, the emotional side, the side that would naturally come out if you really didn't do anything, it's going to be absent, because everything you're doing is strategy. It's not natural. So it's missing natural components. Whoever coached you, they didn't coach you on adding natural components. They coached you on what you need to say so that if we ever end up in a courtroom, we can use these words to our benefit. That's the main thing that's on his mind. Innocence, 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 innocence. Not, damn, I lost my dog. I lost my dog, man. Like, the fact that I'm like, a human moment would have made sense. If I'm Warren and I didn't do nothing and I'm sitting down with this interviewer and I'm talking about my homie that's gone, at some point it's like, man, it's crazy that I'm even sitting here talking to you, having to tell you everything to get the public off my ass. I can't even really grieve, man. I lost my fucking homie, man. Like, a human would have jumped out at some point. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would think a human shows up at some point. No, it was, man, Nolan, Nolan, no different from the rest. You know, my friends, Nolan said he was staying back with that Katie girl. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a few of us, like at least 5 people heard us, telling Nolan to get on the boat. You know what I'm saying? Like, Nolan, blah blah blah. It wasn't no damn. I just wish he would have listened when we told him to get on the boat. I wish he wasn't being hard-headed, and that girl wasn't worth it, and like none of that. No human elements of none of what Warren was saying. So I agree with the psychotherapist 100%. And he been doing this for 20 years. So, I went to school for a little bit of it, but he's way more official than I am. And we gathering the same conclusion on Warren.
I could have stopped him hanging out with that girl. He doesn't say any of that. Now, again, does that mean he's guilty of murder? No, I don't know what happened there, and I can't say that I do know. But I would. There are some red flags that tell me he is hiding something, and he was coached in the interview to do it. And they found an interviewer that would not push. They did not find a valid journalist. They did not find, Nancy Grace or Geraldo Rivera. They didn't find a journalist that would actually do journalistic work or do journalistic questioning. They found an internet personality that would help him spin the narrative the way he needed to spin it. And that choice in and of itself, it's just psychologically odd.
Yeah. They found somebody who actually had a narrative already. And so
Yes.
he walked them into the narrative that he had already created for himself.
Yep. Point blank and simple. Shout out to Willie D and shout out to my brother, the psychotherapist. I didn't catch his name, but shout out to both of them for that great piece of content and that analytical breakdown as to exactly why, people who don't believe Warren have their reasons. You know what I mean? So if you catch this on the rewatch, make sure you jump in the comments and tap in and let me know what y'all thought about the breakdown by these psychotherapists in regards to Warren's lack of emotion, essentially. Let's move. All right, y'all. This is the moment y'all been waiting for. This is the reason why y'all here. New photo and audio that could potentially change absolutely everything with regards to this case. And that's why I told y'all when I got here that we got him. You know what I'm saying? We got him. You know what I'm saying? There's no way around it. So yesterday, attorney Benjamin Crump posted this image on his Instagram. All right. He posted this image on his Instagram. And this image is an alleged picture of Nolan on the Triton leaving Horn Island. Now, because the image is so blurry and hard to see, I just screenshotted it, chat. So don't mind me. I screenshotted the image. But because the image is so blurry and hard to see and hard to, truly make out, we would have to get someone to clean it up. But this is allegedly Nolan on the island. On the Triton, headed away from Horn Island, back towards the mainland. As you can see, the line, just like Warren confirmed that they were attached to the other boat and being pulled. So you can see the line in the image here that would confirm that this would be attached to the other boat and being pulled, right? So if this alleged image has any validity to it, it would actually go with the theory that a lot of us have here, which is that Nolan did get on the boat with his keys and his cell phone, right? Like where his keys and his phone were located, he was there too. That's what we think. We don't think this man parted ways from his cell phone and his car keys to continue to cradle Katie, right? None of us believe that. So if this image is true, this breaks things wide open because we can confirm off rip, y'all lied. The Nolan stayed backstory goes away. Now, here's the piece that makes it interesting. It's not just the picture. That picture is still speculatory, right? People are still trying to, is it AI? Oh, it's blurry. We can't really tell, right? But when you couple the photo with the full audio of the phone call that was made to Cito, things start becoming very clear. I want you guys to listen as closely as y'all can. I'm going to turn the volume up high. And you guys pay attention to the background and not just the main phone call. We'll go through this a couple times if we have to, but this thing might be a wrap. Handcuffs need to get warm. Let's go.
Hello. Okay.
How many
what's
adults
going
on board?
What's up? There's 0 adults on board.
There's nobody on board the boat?
No. Nobody
right.
here is over the age of 21.
Sir, that was not the question. Is there a person? Is there a person, a living individual on the boat?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir?
Y'all heard that? Did y'all hear that? I'm going to slow this down. Did it sound like somebody said, wake up? No, wake the up. If that's not what you heard, that's fine. I'm going to slow this down. Y'all listen to the background and let me know what y'all heard this person scream in the background. All right? This is the official audio of the phone call to C-Tow, the tow that they ended up not getting. And this will explain why, too.
We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles? All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir?
What that sound like, chat? What that sound like to y'all, chat? Was that somebody saying wake the up, or was it something else?
Can you give me a description? Ankles? Hello?
Hey.
Yes. How far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
All right. Well, let's get you going. Membership number or phone number listed on the account, sir.
I don't know the phone number. It's either Jerry Atkerson. I think it's Jerry Atkerson. Try that.
All right.
I know we have a membership, like guaranteed. I don't have the tag
unless
on
you
here.
have a membership number or anything, it's okay.
Somebody just said Warren's name in the background. So Warren did place himself at the scene of this phone call. So that's fine. But we also have it on the audio to corroborate it. We will also hear Wyatt's name in the background of this phone call. Listen for names in the backdrop because he's going to confirm that there were 7 people on this boat. And if we listen for names being yelled out in the backdrop, we probably can list a few of them, right? But I thought we heard Nolan's name. And if that was his name, somebody going to jail. Matter of fact, somebody's are going to jail. Let's go.
I'll get you over to the captain. What's the best phone number to reach you at?
Reach me at 2.
All right. And is everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's
How
on
many?
board.
All right. Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
What?
Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
No, we do not need that.
All right. All right. Do you have your current GPS coordinates?
Let me go look.
If not, I can send you a text message.
North. All right, are you ready?
Yes, sir. I'm available.
North 3 degrees. But 4672.
All right, 4672. All right, and you were breaking up a little bit. Can you just repeat it one more time to make sure I have it correct?
Sorry, look.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, what?
So you're breaking up. If you need assistance, do you have a VHF radio?
No, we do not have to be.
Sounds a little distracted, right, chat? He sounds very, very distracted by whatever's going on in the background, chat.
VHF radio.
All right. Well, let's try to get you going because you don't have good cell phone reception. Can you verify your coordinates one more time?
Okay, my coordinates are 30 degrees by 14.684 north, and then west by 88 degrees by 46.79.
Right. Looks like you're on Horn Island, correct? Are you
yes,
on
we are
Horn
at Horn
Island?
Island? Yeah.
All right. Is the boat sinking?
So she just confirmed their location. They're still not very far away from Horn Island, but confirmed by Warren, they were out to where the water is at least about 31 feet deep. So they're not at the island. They're just a bit off of the island, which Warren described. He said their buddy, you know, they tied their buddy and their buddy pulled them out a little bit, and then they eventually had to call CETO. So this is now the phone call that he was referring to in his story.
Sinking, or you have it aground?
We were sinking, yes.
Is it aground is the question?
No, we're not aground. We are in
Okay.
17 foot of water. We're in 31 foot of water.
All right, have to ask. What do you want to do? Do you want to be towed back?
So they're in 31 foot of water, okay? So following the notion that Nolan got on the boat, if we're following that, this is all alleged, but if Nolan got on the boat and something happened on that boat, like we're suspecting from listening to this audio, right? The notion that they just threw Nolan off the boat in that very moment, that's false. Right? They're too close to land, too many people still out there partying, too much going on. And that's why I've been telling y'all for almost 2 weeks now that I think Nolan made it back to the mainland and was dumped back later. That's what I believe. That's just my analysis. I haven't seen anything that completely disproves that yet. But let's continue.
Back?
I want to get this boat unsank and towed back, yes.
All right, where would you like it towed to, sir?
You can tow it to Ocean Springs Harbor or Fort Bayou Launch.
All right, how many adults and children on board?
No, there's no children.
So is there anybody on board? How many adults, sir? That was the question. Hello, can you hear me?
He's calling for help on a sinking boat, and he's very distracted. If I'm on a sinking boat calling for help, I'm locked in on getting this help. He's very distracted to be calling for help on a sinking boat. If you got somebody around you that you love that's having a panic attack, a heart attack, a stroke, you don't know what the hell is going on, a seizure, whatever, right? And you have to call for help. When you call for help, ain't you going to lock in and do everything you got to do with the person on the phone to get that help? Or are you going to be having a hard time talking to the person on the phone because you trying to be a nurse and you got to focus? You have to focus. This dude don't even seem, and then he seemed kind of, I don't know, energy weird. Let's go.
Better jump in and pull the plug, Bart, while you're going.
Okay, so we got Bart. So we got Bart, Wyatt, Warren. I'm hearing names. I feel like I heard Nolan. That's 4. He said it was 7 people on this boat.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yep, I just need you to answer these questions so I can get you over to the captain.
Okay.
How many
what's
adults
going
on board?
There's 0 adults on board.
There's nobody on board the boat?
No. Nobody
right.
here is over the age of 21.
Sir, that was not the question. Is there a person? Is there a person, a living individual on the boat?
Hello?
Is there a living person, someone breathing on the boat? Is there anybody on the boat?
Yes, there's lots of people breathing on the boat.
All right, how many people, sir?
Like 7.
All right, thank you. Does everyone have life jackets on or available to them?
Yes, we have life jackets available.
All right, verify what boat's sinking.
A Triton, 22-foot offshore, 22-foot Triton offshore sea flight hull.
All right. All right. Please hold. I'm transferring you to the local captain now.
Okay, thank you.
Now, chat, for those of you who haven't heard this extended version of this call, here is a plot twist for your ass. Listen to this.
This is Captain Seth.
Hi, Captain Seth. This is Vicky from International. How you doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
Good, good. I apologize ahead of time. I really do. You're going to have a fee-for-service come up under Jerry.
Okay.
It sounds like a bunch of kids on board on Horn Island. he's letting me know that his father's a member, but he can't give me any information. And he's saying the boat is sinking. And he's on Horn Island. It's just unfortunate. He's just a kid. There's a lot going on. So he said there's about a lot of people on board. He says he thinks about 7. I'm guessing they're all under 18. And I'm not trying to be rude. He wants you guys to go out there and unpump the boat and then tow it in.
Do you know what kind of boat it is?
He said a Triton 24-footer, but that's all he can give me.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just actually got off the phone with his grandpa, who I'm guessing is the owner of the boat. And he said that Jerry. Yeah, he said,
okay.
I just hung up with him.
So she is currently still on the phone with whoever made this call, whether it be Wyatt or Warren or whoever. She's still currently on the phone with whoever made this call. I'm assuming Wyatt, right? She has him on hold to patch him through to the captain. By the time she gets ready to patch him through to the captain just got off the phone with Wyatt's grandpa. And listen to what Wyatt's grandfather said to the captain.
He said that they don't need any help right now, but if something changes, he'll call me back. So I'm guessing that they may have figured it out, because that's what he said. So they're in a panic and their boat won't crank.
Yeah, they're in a panic. He's saying the bilge is not keeping up. I asked for Coast Guard. He said no, but he's just really upset on the back end. And, I get it. It's a kid. He just doesn't understand.
Oh, okay. Do you still have him on the line?
Yes, I still have him on the line. And again, I couldn't find, he couldn't give me anything regarding his grandfather's, membership. So it's just under Jerry fee for service.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just talked to, if you want to.
Chat. Come on, chat. Chat, we can't make this up, chat. Hit the like and subscribe button. Everybody hit the like and subscribe button right now, please. Chat, this cook up, just pay me in likes. I don't want just pay me in likes, chat. Listen, hey, what? While somebody making the call to Cito, because I don't know who made this Cito call. While somebody is talking to Cito, somebody called Grandpa and was like, yo, we got a situation. This all alleged. All right, y'all sit tight. Y'all already on the phone with Cito? And listen, she confirmed he's a 20-year member with Cito. Shout out to all y'all for the jewels, the super chats. Hold on, we got a super chat. Money. Would you think Warren and his friends would have turned into Inspector Gadget if their friend was found unalive and people are pointing the finger to them? Do you think Warren and his friends would have turned into Inspector Gadget if their friend was found unalive and people are pointing the fingers to them? Yeah, I would think so, right? If my friend turned up unalive and I'm innocent and I was with him that day and I know the last person who he was with, shit, I'm trying to solve it too. I want to know who did something to my mans. If I'm reading your question right. And thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate you. Joseph with the 440 jewels. Uncle Alert. Appreciate you. 10 jewels. Floating heart. $50 super chat. Tony said, bro, thank you. Just have to donate, bro. Gratitude. Yes, Lord. Money. Yes, Lord. Appreciate y'all. And get the likes up. For those of y'all that don't want to support the channel monetarily, go ahead and just throw the likes in the comments and the shares out there. No charge, right? But listen, man. What? Are y'all for, hey, what's going on, Danica? Danica says support 1999 super chat money. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate you, Danica. I done got on this case. I ain't been able to react to your stuff, but I've been keeping up. You've been cooking lately. Keep doing your thing. Everybody go tap in with Danica Marie Dope Discussions. Money, 440 jewels. Uncle Alert. Appreciate it. Just getting caught up. All right, so listen. Chat. Why? Somebody called Grandpa, the owner of the boat, and was like, yo, we got a situation. Grandpa like, all right, sit tight. He like, well, so-and-so already on the phone with Cito. Grandpa like, you mean to tell me the boys on the boat and you called Cito? Okay, let him stay on the phone. Grandpa hang up the phone and get directly on the phone with the captain. They talking to dispatch. Grandpa talked to Captain Seth directly. Come on, chat. And notice how the dispatcher is talking to Captain Seth. I'm willing to bet that Captain Seth is either the owner of the company or real high up in the company. Because she told him, when she talking to him, notice how the dispatcher talking to the captain. She say, I want to apologize in advance. And then she started explaining what's going on. And then she's like, no, I mean this respectfully, but they want you to pump the boat and tow them in. Why she got to add all that on the front of it if she not talking to somebody who she clearly sees as like herself? She's a subordinate to this person to the nth degree. I'm not making it up, chat. We kept the files now. It's all right here. Listen to how she talking to the captain. He's somebody.
Yeah, Jerry. Yeah, he said
unpump the boat. He's saying the boat is for service. Come up under Jerry.
Yeah, thank you.
This is Captain Seth.
Hi, Captain Seth. This is Vicky from International. How you doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
Good. I apologize ahead of time. I really do. You're going to have a fee for service come up under Jerry.
Okay.
It sounds like a bunch of kids on board on Horn Island. He's letting me know that his father's a member, but he can't give me any information. And he's saying the boat is sinking. And he's on Horn Island. It's just unfortunate. He's just a kid. There's a lot going on. So right. He said there's about a lot of people on board. He says he thinks about 7. I'm guessing they're all under 18. Okay. And I'm not trying to be rude. He wants you guys to go out there and unpump the boat and then.
I'm not trying to be rude. What's rude about asking this man to go do his job? He's the captain of a ship that is for a sea towing company, and you're calling him to ask him to go do a job. Why is all this extra sauce being put on the sandwich, chat? Now check this out.
Tow it in.
Do you know what kind of boat it is?
He said a Triton 24-footer, but that's all he can give me.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just actually got off the phone with his grandpa, who I'm guessing is the owner of the boat, and he said that. Yeah, Jerry. Yeah, he said.
Okay.
I just hung up with him. He said that they don't need any help right now, but if something changes, he'll call me back. So right. I'm guessing that they may have figured it out, because that's what he said. So they're in a panic and their boat won't crank.
Yeah, they're in a panic. He's saying the bilge is not keeping up. I asked for Coast Guard. He said no, but he's just really upset on the back end. And, I get it. It's a kid. He just doesn't understand.
Oh, okay. Do you still have him on the line?
Yes, I still have him on the line. And again, I couldn't find, he couldn't give me anything regarding his grandfather's, membership. So it's just under Jerry fee for service.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just talked to, if you want to, we're so tied up right now. We can't really do any non-member jobs right now.
Is Jerry a member? Did you find out if he was a member or not?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's his boat or what. I'm not sure what's going on with it. But yeah, transfer the kid over. I'll talk to him, and then.
Now Jerry done called him and ain't told him nothing, but don't go out there to fix the Triton. Jerry done called him and ain't told him nothing except for don't pull up on them kids. I'll let you know if we need something. My man wasn't sure. He trying to, what boat is it? Oh, I think I just talked to Jerry. Yeah, he said they straight. Yeah, listen. This all of it's fishy, chat. Fishy as hell. Grandpa gave them the whole plant. Come on, man. The nigga said salute. Time said, what up? 400 Joules in the chat. What up? Appreciated me. Come on, man. I'm trying to see what y'all think this is. If that photo of the boat is real, why did they make Nolan wear boots before they did what they did? Crazy work. I don't know what you talking about. Solid said, yeep. Come on, man. The truth is stranger than fiction, bro. Come on.
I'll call Grandpa back as well.
All right. And did you want me to look up Jerry's membership number or anything like that to see if he's up? I know you guys are
You can
swamped.
try this cell phone number.
Yes, sir.
Anything on this phone number.
All right. Yep. Jerry. Yeah, he's an active member. Hold on.
What kind of boat do you have on there? Same boat?
Yeah, he's one. Yeah, he's one of your members. Yep, 22-foot Triton. All right. I'll just disregard this one. I'm gonna send you over an accurate one under this Jerry Ackerson one. Okay, he's one of your members. You'll get in a couple minutes. Okay.
Okay, perfect. All right. And, yeah, just transfer this kid over whenever you get a chance.
All right, transferring now. Thank you again, Captain.
All right.
Stay safe out there. It's crazy. Have a drink.
Oh, it's wild.
Chat, what y'all think, chat? Let me see. She said, Mississippi. That is what happened. Yep. Boating services are just like roadside assistance. Absolutely. Tom said it's not what you know, it's who you know. And those kids know a lot of important people. Well, they people know some important people for sure. 702 said white man was calm and told us that they were waiting for him and he was sure they wouldn't leave. I was like, yeah, okay. Well, it waited. Let me see. Hey, man, say, man. Elite said facts. Let me see something. I'm just trying to scroll. She said, wow. Tez Down said Jerry Ackerson helped the boys cover it up. Listen, when this all comes out, everybody that's supposed to be implicated need to be implicated. So that's the boys involved, the judge with her sworn Facebook statements, Jerry, everybody who's involved with the cover up need to be brought in front of a proper protocol situation. They need to be brought to the judge, brought to the jury, and they need to be sentenced accordingly. Straight up. If you did what you did and you couldn't get it, that's when you decide to be criminal, your job is to get away with it. And we letting y'all know right now, y'all ain't getting away with this one. Y'all all on the phone, sloppy as hell, all on the you know when they tell you this call may be recorded or monitored for quality assurance and all that. It's not that it may be recorded, it's going to be recorded. Y'all all in the background talking about Nolan, wake the fuck up. Y'all think we can't hear that shit? Y'all think we just gonna let that slide? Man, hell no, we not going for that. Somebody in the back talking about check his chest. Wait till we isolate this audio. I ain't had a chance to pull this shit up in my Pro Tools yet. I get surgical with it. I ain't had a chance to pull this up in my Pro Tools yet. Y'all lucky I got a busy life. But listen, I get surgical with it. Don't let me isolate this audio. We are here every vocal like it's on a Michael Jackson track. Straight up. I know before I get to it, somebody else gonna do it, so we'll wait. But listen, Erica said with the $2 super chat, appreciate you, money. She said there's an audio of them talking before she says hello. Yep, we already played it. You can hear the person yelling. Yeah. Right before she say hello. It starts a little early. Let me see. Diane said, please do review it. Yeah. We gonna tap in. Young Boss said neglectful. Miss said, can't wait. Oh, yeah. It said, please do so. Oh, look, we put this audio in the Pro Tools. We could clean it right up, man, and hear each file. But I'm sure, look, absolutely, make some noise. Look. Y'all want the smoke, but they're not getting away with this, man. They're not getting away with it. But the crazy thing is, if I could take the audio and finesse it a little bit, the police can, so why haven't they? And then they ask us, why y'all keep bringing race into it? Well, if he was white, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. We can't keep doing that. Let me see. We can't have an opinion when we only hear you. Hey, you on my channel. I'm not on yours. You see how that works? And I don't even know you. Hey, chat, do we know that person? Do we know this person? Do we know him?
I barely know who the fuck you are.
Melissa, appreciate you. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Appreciate y'all. I see y'all chiming in chat. I ain't no way I'm gonna be able to keep up with these chats today. I'm gonna let y'all get y'all shit off and leave it up on the screen for show. But yeah, man. That image that being posted shows about 7 people on the boat. When he made the phone call, he said there was 7 people on the boat, right? So if that image has any validity to it and you match it up with the phone call, then you can place Nolan on that boat. And if we can isolate the audio, which if I don't do it, somebody absolutely will, because it's not a hard task, especially not with AI. I wouldn't even trust AI with that. I think human hands, somebody who knows how to split it, should split it. But you isolate that audio and you can pinpoint somebody saying Nolan's name on that audio mixed with that picture, because the picture needs to be cleaned up too. Then you firmly place Nolan on the boat. Once you place Nolan on the boat, the rest of their credibility, that's gone. Y'all lied about him never leaving the island, and we have successfully placed him on the boat at the time of your distress call. So all the credibility is gone, and now it becomes full-blown interrogation, full-blown arrest warrants, full-blown raids. You know what I'm saying? The whole demonstration. My only thing is this. I don't think Ben Crump got a blurry picture. I think he posted a blurry picture. It's 2026. Whose cell phone produces an image that looks like this, chat? Hold on. Whose cell phone produces an image this blurry? Even if, I guess if you got water splashing, it can create this level of distortion. But for the most part, I think this image was purposefully distorted. I think Ben Crump has been playing chess this entire time. And I think when they go to the grand jury, that's when Mississippi, as well as Attorney Crump and their independent investigation team, will both show their real hand. But regardless of what Mississippi tries to come with, there seems to be more than enough, you know what I mean, to make sure that somebody is in handcuffs and being interrogated to the umpteenth power. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we already know in the ritual. She said 250th anniversary of America. You already know. They're trying to perform a ritual and get away with it. But listen, what a way to ruin the 250th anniversary if we get them boys locked the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Or whoever did it. Whoever. I'm not saying anybody did anything, but if somebody did something, they got to pay. That's just what it is. If somebody did something, they got to pay. I pray you are right. Nolan deserves justice. That's just what it is. We in no light sentences either. Give them because now you can't just charge them for whatever happened. You got to charge them for trying to get away with it too. Stack them charges right on up. You got to stack that up. We can't be playing. Listen, that shit over dead. People like, oh, since y'all refuse to do it the way I told y'all we should do it. Y'all don't want to keep this shit Old Testament. I get it, right? A lot of blood. So y'all don't want to do it that way, allegedly, all for content creation purposes and entertainment. Yeah, yap. It's my job. You on my channel. You listening to me. And we don't know you either, Mason. But what I'm saying is, if I could put these pieces together, then the professionals got to be able to put these pieces together. And if they put these pieces together, somebody got to go to fucking jail. This be the issue, though. If you can get them arrested and you can get them charged, can you get them convicted? And then if you get them convicted, can you get proper sentencing? Right? So it's an uphill battle all the way through. But I'm telling you, we're going to stay tapped in and make sure that this thing is right. Because the shit got to stop in some way, somehow. And the only way that it's going to stop is if people who do these things end up having to pay for them. As long as people still being able to do shit and get away with it, they have no reason to stop. If you've been successfully robbing banks for 10 years and the police ain't even sniffing your trail, you going to keep getting money, right? That's what you're going to do, allegedly, all for content creation purposes and entertainment. But if you try to rob a bank the first time and they hit your ass with 20 years, soon as you get out, you're not finna try to go hit a bank again. You feel me? Lesson learned. I'm finna chill. You know what I'm saying? So there has to be ramifications. I always tell y'all, if you don't have an or else, you also don't have boundaries. If you say you got boundaries, but there is no ramifications for somebody crossing your boundaries, you don't have boundaries. Because what's making somebody respect the line? You have to make somebody respect the line. So, I mean, I don't I don't know what y'all want me to say, man. Listen, I'm just reporting the news. If we can put that picture with that audio, we got Nolan Wells on that boat. And if we got Nolan Wells on that boat, then we got something happening to him. Now, y'all gonna have to come clean on whether or not it was an accident or whether y'all just flat out did something to him. I don't expect the truth, but if we can put Nolan on the boat, then we can go get the rest of the truth, because they ain't got to tell us. We gonna sniff it out like a hound dog. But whatever happened, because listen, whatever y'all did with his neck structures, we gonna get those back too, because you're not supposed to do away with those. So if you kept the neck structures for further investigation, we should be able to see those when you're done with whatever it was you was trying to do with the neck structures and them pieces of the lungs and whatever else was missing as far as the organs are concerned. Whatever components were missing that we need to test, you need to produce those too. We all the games, all that shit over with. All that's over with. Produce everything you need to produce so adequate investigation can be done. And then look, just keep playing. And all we got to do is take the proper steps, and we just gonna get this shit moved up out of Mississippi. Once it's moved out of Mississippi, everybody ass on the line. Everybody. Classic. That's just what it is, man. So listen, man. If it was 7 people on that boat, whatever happened to Nolan, is 7 people. If it's 7, allegedly, if it was 7 people on that boat, one of them being Nolan, that leaves 6 others. If 1 or 2 of the people on that boat are responsible for whatever happened to him, that means there's 4 witnesses. Follow the math. 7 people on the boat. 1 of them Nolan. Something happened to Nolan. Let's say 2 people are involved with what occurred to Nolan. That leaves 4 people left that just saw it. They didn't do nothing, but they just saw it. That makes those 4 people, this is all alleged, all hypothetical, all speculation. That makes those 4 people accessories or accomplices or something. It makes them criminal. Okay? One of these 4 gonna talk. And normally the first person to talk get the best deal. Somebody gonna crack. And I'm gonna do you one better. If we can place Nolan on that boat, and if something happened to Nolan on that boat, and their boat, by admission of Warren, was tied to another boat, the people on the boat that was tied to them also saw something. So one of them gonna crack. Because if you don't, you are also a criminal. Somebody gonna sing, and the first person to sing gets the best deal. So which one of y'all gonna be a fucking canary? Because it's pretty clear that the pressure ain't gonna stop, and they're not gonna get away with this shit. So which one of y'all gonna be a canary? Who's gonna sing first? You might be able to get, if your lawyer's really qualified, you might be able to get some immunity. You might get immunity. Now you're gonna have to sit up there and point them out now. I don't know if you're gonna drop your nuts like that. You're gonna have to sit up there and look them in the eyes, but I'm just saying. Appreciate you. Souls of Thought in the chat with the 10 jewels. Appreciate you, Souls. What up, my boy? Crystal said at classic. That's right. Yeah, hey, listen, foot pun neck. Foot pun neck. We ain't got time to be playing. Case is closed, bro. You talking nonsense. No, the case ain't closed. The case ain't closed. I got something to say about that. The case ain't closed, gang. We not going for that. Classic codes. I didn't check how the boat looked, but Warren's boat is the Trident. That is a fact. Nah, they said the Triton was Wyatt's boat. Warren said the Triton is Wyatt's boat. I think you mixing up Warren and Wyatt. Let me see. 750 joules. Appreciate you, bud. Let them cook. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, so look, we finna tap back in with the spiritual world. A lot of people really appreciated my coverage of the spiritual mediums. We finna tap back in with Tammy Woodruff. This is gonna be our last segment of the day, covering Nolan Wells. For those of y'all that really appreciated the spiritual video, she is going to talk about why the throat structures are missing after doing another channeling. Okay, so I did a video on the spirit guides are talking, where Tammy and also a tarot card reader came back with the same cause of death for Nolan Wells. That video is almost up to 30K views right now, and it's almost up to like 500 or 600 comments. Y'all go check that out after this live stream if y'all want. But Miss Tammy Woodruff, as you see here on the screen, and a tarot card reader both did their own separate work and came up with trauma to the head as the cause of death for Nolan Xavier Wells. And this was done well before the autopsy results have been released. So since that the autopsy results have been released, people have been doubling back to the video and saying that it aged well and that, you know, they believe in the spiritual side of things. And obviously you're going to have some detractors in the chat, in the comments as well. But let's see what she had to say about the missing neck structures and go from there. Let's get it.
All right, let's go ahead and get into this second independent autopsy of Nolan Wells. This channeling right here, I'm focusing on the throat area. I will be getting to the DA next, but let's focus on the throat. Ben Crump confirmed through the independent second autopsy that the throat, the area of his neck, was missing. In my channeling of Warren Hudson, his killer, Warren Hudson's spirit showed me the autopsy from the medical examiner on the first autopsy, that something was being put into a white plastic bag. Now, in my channeling of Javon Williams, which is Nolan Wells' friend, I seen that something made Nolan sick before he was killed. I told you guys that it was symbolized by like somebody spit in his mouth, and I could feel it. It was so vile. And I also felt like I had a cold. I didn't tell y'all, but after I did that particular channeling of Javon Williams, and I seen something go in his mouth and the cold symptoms, I physically had the cold symptoms and I was sneezing for 2 days, and I had to do a cleansing to get it off me. I had pulled in what Nolan experienced in the physical. So let's bring this all together to see why this is important to the throat missing at that first autopsy. The throat can determine if there's blunt force trauma to the head, specifically the back of the neck.
I think we kind of gathered that once we saw the autopsy, and it was confirmed about the redness at the soft tissue in the back of the skull, and then the neck structures being missing, and then certain components of the lungs being missing. I think they wanted two things. Miss Tammy Woodruff been on point, man. I think they wanted two things. A, they didn't want for the second person to do the autopsy to be able to rule out drowning. And B, they didn't want them to be able to rule in foul play, which they were successful at because the final results were inconclusive, pending investigation, which is, I believe, the perfect scenario for the people who are allegedly trying to do a cover-up. Let's go.
So, blunt force trauma can cause irritation to the throat and swelling that mimics a cold. The damage to the throat from the blunt force trauma also causes mucus and phlegm. That is the spit that I told you I saw in my mouth, and I felt disgusted. It was very vile. So, in my channeling of Warren Hudson, let's summarize this up. He's the one who showed me the medical examiner to the first one. Why would he do that? Because he's the killer. He's concerned about that. What they obviously put in that white package that I saw is Nolan Wells' throat. That is the part that will confirm the cause of his death. In the second independent autopsy, they saw that there was red marks on the back of his neck caused by blunt force trauma. So, like I said, the cause of Nolan Wells' death was being hit in the head, and he died instantly from that blow. I will be going for the DA next and seeing what their cover-up is.
So, we shall see. It does seem as though, for the people who don't believe in the spiritual side of things or whatever the case may be, again, like I don't necessarily fully understand the time out of your life that you can't get back that you take to tell us who bother with it not to bother with it. Just do what you're doing and let us do what we doing. Clearly there's some validity to it because she's been more accurate than the Mississippi Police Department so far. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, for us people that's tapped in, it's an esoteric conversation. If you don't know what esoteric means, then I mean start there. You know what I mean? But yeah, for the spiritual side of things, Tammy's been very locked in. She's been very on point. And I believe that if they really push the issue in regards to getting the throat structures, Mississippi gonna have to again show their hand. They're either going to have to yeah, I ain't gonna lie, Tony, that's a conversation for another day, but that's part of the problem. I ain't gonna hold you. But yeah, if they can push to get the throat structures, we can actually confirm a lot more things. If Mississippi shows their hand and says that they did away with the throat structures or can't find them or they've been discarded or whatever the case, if they come up with an excuse as to why those throat structures cannot be made available, then we know what it is, right? More evidence, more things that point to corruption. So obviously we do feel like a wrongful death lawsuit will probably get filed, and the Wansleys do probably stand to receive some money. None of that's going to bring their child back, and I'm sure they don't care about that if they could have their child back. But the answers that they're seeking, I think that happens in the court of law, and not in a civil court and not in a civil suit. So I think that pushing for charges is also the same as pushing for truth for Elmore and Christine Wansley. And ultimately, that's what I want for them. I want them to know exactly what happened to their baby. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we're going to stay on this. We're going to stay tapped in. If you catch this on the rewatch, let me know what you think about the spiritual side of things and her channelings and the accuracy of them so far, as it has been proven to be true thus far, as far as what she's gathering from tapping in on the other side and getting information from Nolan himself. So yeah, man, let me know what you think. But other than that, we gonna move. All right, let me see if I can skim through and see if I can find any good comments. If not, we're gonna play some music, vibe out for a second, and then we're gonna tap out. Let me see. He said, you guys are aware that spiritual BS cannot be used in a court of law. Yeah, I feel you. Why? I don't get it though. I'm not trying to have that conversation, but it's just interesting to me how like people choose to believe in whatever they believe in, and then everything else that other people believe in got to be BS. It's like, what if you the one that's wrong? Because I don't even know if you black or white, but Christianity is new. As far as human existence is concerned, Christianity is a new belief system. Humans predate Christianity by literally thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years. So it's like, what were humans believing in prior to the book that you've devoted yourself to so much? It was probably something spiritual. Just saying. I'm just saying. I ain't trying to ruffle nobody's feathers. I'm a logical person. So all of that, you know, you telling me how you feel and your beliefs and all that, that's just you expressing your emotions to me. Faith, the definition of the word faith literally means to believe in something that you cannot prove, literally. So to have faith is to believe in something that you literally can't force someone else to understand because you can't prove it. That's why it's faith-based. So just chill out. Just chill out. You're not even supposed to be able to prove you're God based on the definition of faith. Let's see. Ray Stone said exactly who gave you the Jesus side is the question. There it is, Ray. Good question for him. I'll let y'all have that out in the chat. I'm moving on. Let me see what else my people said. Bird said, no, she's wrong. The throat would show strangulation. The stomach contents would show if he swallowed something. Both things could be true, but I'm following you, though. Let me see. Dojo said, y'all keep talking about making it about race. The motive could have been anything. That's not the point. Well, I'll combat that with this, Dojo. If race wasn't part of the foundation that our country or nation or corporation was built on, it wouldn't keep coming up. So blame the oppressors, blame the colonizers, blame the governmental system, blame them niggas who sat down and wrote the Constitution and made us 3/5 of a human. I think race coming up in situations where people aren't the same ethnicity in this country is always warranted. It's a part of the fabric of the country, but we try to conveniently disregard it. Y'all can keep on playing in delusion. I don't do that. And if you're looking for somebody to be delusional with you, not you, but y'all, if you are the type of person that's watching this and you want somebody to operate inside a delusion with you, this ain't your channel. I'm gonna keep it real. Whether it makes me uncomfortable, you uncomfortable, us uncomfortable, I'm gonna keep it real. I prefer to operate inside of reality, whether it's good or bad. I just want reality. I'm not finna be conveniently deluded. I'm cool. Warlock said, all I heard was inconclusive and blunt force trauma could not be ruled out. I did not hear it was blunt force trauma that killed him. Right. It still remains to be seen. The jury's still out on it. But so far, she's not all the way off. Right. So that's all. We just gonna keep following. Everything is still developing. So y'all can't, we gotta take this situation out of the microwave. You know what I'm saying? Everything is still developing. Tussie said, yep. Why didn't they turn over his throat to the independent examiner? Only thing that was missing. Yeah, and a little bit of stomach contents too. But yeah, for sure. Yeah, if y'all coming in or if y'all on the way out, man, I'm about to play a couple of tunes. We got a lot of super chats and a lot of love today. So for y'all that don't know, I am an artist, so we always play my music on my channel. And everybody that rock with it, they stick around and catch a vibe. And when people send super chats and now the gifts and the gems and the jewels and all that, we play a little short playlist at the end of our live stream, catch a vibe, lighten the mood up, and then we on to the next. For those of y'all that like boxing, I will be doing a live fight call of the Errol Spence versus Tim Tszyu fight tonight. Errol Spence and Tim Tszyu fight in Australia. I believe they're supposed to be walking to the ring around 10 p.m. or so Eastern. So that's like 9 Central Time or whatever the case may be. But I will look for the notifications on that. Tap in with Classic Codes Sports. It'll be streaming on this page too, but really go to my sports page and tap in over there. Classic Code Sports. I'll be doing a live fight call of the Errol Spence Jr. fight tonight. So if you don't want to miss that, go to Classic Codes Sports and hit that subscribe button over there as well. You should be able to get to that page from my main page. But yeah, man, let's get into a little bit of music and then we finna slide up out of here, man. Thank you, chat, for all the love and all the participation. All my wrenches, thank y'all for policing the chat and trying to clean it up the best you can. I know it's a lot of people in here. But yeah, man, we're gonna play this one for Nolan. This one called Aura Farming. We know that boy had that glow. Let's go. Classic. They don't like it when you got that glow. And one thing they hate worse than you having that glow is when you know you got that glow. They don't like that. They don't like that at all. So give them a reason to keep hating on it. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, oil farming, how I'm up in rank. Step in the room, they paid away. I
I get treated like a milli tank. Southpaw like I'm really tank. I do things that they really can't. Envious, cause they really ain't. I'ma win any type of way. That's a parlay you could take to the bank. That's a parlay you could take to the bank. Know some people I love, put some smut on my name. Real life, I'ma still love them the same. I'ma love them from outside of the frame. I'ma love them from outside of the pain. That type of hate don't belong on my paint. That type of hate don't belong in proximity. Lord knows I love to match energy. Won't smoke, I know the back chimney. No hope with me once you an enemy. Well trained, I break you down clinically. BTA is my ministry. Laying that belt, laying that leather. It ain't no pics, it's with whoever. Ain't gotta like us, but you gon' respect us. Before I be soft, I'd rather be deadly. Let's get it. Since I lost Sebastian, my heart to been heavy. Hard in my heart, now it's hard to be friendly. PTSD in my arms, he was heavy. Felt his heart stop, oh my God, I wasn't ready. Couldn't even walk, his last walk was with Granny. Heard he was sick and they said it was bad. I damn that collapsed, but my legs felt like jelly. Man down, I lost my family. Therapy dog, who gon' help with my sanity now? Think I'm about vanity now. Been in the gym, I'm trying to balance it out. Managing rage, out of line, so people jumped off the page. Bad time if you really won't play. Bad time for you to play with my name. It's Candyman if you say my name. I'm up in rank. Step in the room, they paid away. I get treated like a milli tank. Southpaw like I'm really tank. I do things that they really can't. Envious, cause they really ain't. I'ma win any type of way. That's a parlay you could take to them. I'm having that aura, I got that glow. They hate it worse when they know that you know. Walk in the room like I'm covered in gold. I used to suppress it, was about to implode. I used to suppress it, was about to explode. Sore thumb in the room everywhere that I go. Black sheep for the fam, used to think something was wrong. Took a little time to realize I was chose. Took a little time to realize I was special. Ever since birth, been a cold under pressure. Wanna be great, gotta do a little extra. That's why I grind with obsession. Everything about me irregular, everything about me is pressure. Maximum effort, no box left unchecked on the checklist. No stone left unturned, mash on the gas and etc. Or farming hoe, I'm up in rank. Step in the room, they paved the way. I get treated like a milli tank. Southpaw like I'm really tank. I do things that they really can't. Envious, cause they really ain't. I'ma win any type of way. That's a parlay you could take to the bank. I seen people be so fickle, nothing surprised me. Double-edged sword, though, consider how you looking at everybody's sideways.
That's me. It's me on the songs, bro. I only play my music on my chat. On my screen.
Look around, don't know who to trust. Nah, for real. Lately I've been paranoid. I gotta chill. Ask me how I feel, think I'ma tell you not for real. But I grind like I'm still unfulfilled. Ain't satisfied till I touch a certain M's. Can't say the number, they apply against my plans. I'm turning up, dog, this one for the jump. Come to these bars, I only play above the rim. Boy, I'm Thomas Shepard. Long sleeve with the corduroys. Really came to get buckets. Purnell with the defense. Too slick, you can't touch me. Bud Crawford on offense. I'm unassuming, but I'm really punching. Underrated, I'm starting to love it. Stacking days, I'm stacking the budget. When I win, ain't none of it lucky. Tapped in, I got it from nothing. Stay ready, preheated the oven, just did a theater. I'm still in recovery. Therapy team, they really love me. They'd kill me if they knew I was jumping. High speed chase, I had to punch it in front of thousands. I started with hundreds. Don't really see no competition, this look like a luncheon. Suggest you let me mind my business, catch you if you lunching. They love you all these years, but at the end you wasn't nothing. Look around, don't know who to trust. Not for real. Lately I've been paranoid. I gotta chill. Ask me how I feel, think I'ma tell you not for real. But I grind like I'm still unfulfilled. Present with poise, but I really got no chill. Far as blood, it ain't too thick to get spilled. They think I'm too cool to click, not for real. God ain't done with me yet, dog, I gotta heal. I ain't no run of the mill. Had to surround myself with steel. Yeah, I've been sharpening steel. Hard to feel hard feelings at all when I can hardly feel. Hard as hell counting losses till you count the wins. If I could take the pain all over, swear I'd do it again. The way them hard times unlock me, look different, twin. If you don't understand my plight, then we just different men. If you can't understand my fight, then we got different hands. Yeah, different song. I'm talking about different dance. I'm talking about different tribe. I'm talking about different clan. Boy, I'm sticking to the codes to the bitter end. I'ma live and die by it till I'm ashes in a can. Look around, don't know who to trust. Not for real. Lately I've been paranoid. I gotta chill. Ask me how I feel, think I'ma tell you not for real. But I grind like I'm still unfulfilled. Why you ain't say nothing? I'm only gonna do this once. You always knew I'd make it from the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing?
Classic.
The whole time for real? Yeah. I couldn't tell. Classic. You was around me from the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Seen them hard times couldn't kill me. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Stages I'm on getting bigger. Now you wanna say something? Been watching my story all winter. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't call? Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't? You was around me from the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing? Stages I'm on getting bigger. Now you wanna say something? Put that on my soul. Oh no. They ain't hungry no more when it's time to eat crow. Or farming, I'm enhancing my glow. Ain't gon' argue with you about what I know. Photo album, all I'm seeing is ghosts. Had to remodel from pillar to post. Said what I said, I ain't come here to argue. You said congratulations, should've said sorry. Got it, now you won't be part of the party. Your access denied, I'm sorry, not sorry. When I needed air, niggas wouldn't afford it. Now they pulling up and thinking we solid. Now I'm on the phone talking $1 million topics. Up early, Zoom call out to Abu Dhabi. Don't answer my phone if it's gon' be about gossip. I don't really care, everybody got problems. That's why I be sharing my woes, letting y'all know it's okay, you can come up from the bottom. Whoa. Scraping, scratching, clawing. Before I start running, I started with crawling. Before I got balance, I started with falling. Started with broke before I ever was balling. Started with hope before ever rewarded. They ain't show up till I became important. You was around me from the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Seen them hard times couldn't kill me. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Stages I'm on getting bigger. Now you wanna say something? Been watching my story all winter. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't call? Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't? Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? You was around me from the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't? Stages I'm on getting bigger. Now you wanna say something? Man, they lay in the cut, stay in the cut. Watch you blow up and won't show you no love. People I got the most hate from in life at one point or another. I thought we was bruh. One point or another, I thought it was love. One point or another, greet them with a hug. Now if I see them, greeting them with gloves. 16s, ain't no need to warm up. I got respect for myself. You gon' have respect for me or respect for that belt. Suggest you leave me alone. If you start up with me, I'ma take you through hell. Don't want no smoke, but if you want some smoke and you bring me some smoke, I'ma take an inhale. Don't do no running, I'm done with the talking. Let's get in deep waters, I'm taking them 12. Why you ain't say nothing? Oh, now you wanna say something? Why you ain't say nothing? Now you wanna say something?
Yes, sir. I got one more for y'all. Let's go.
Woo! Whippin'. Everything I'm riding intended. Getting roll-headed, private, she brilliant. She treat me like I just caught a bag for $1 million. I stay with a model. Take her overseas, we stay in the castle. No brakes, boy, I stay on the throttle. MMG hot, Bel Air on them bottles. Sippin', got rose and Douce drippin'. Outfit clean, I'm drippin'. Shades on in the club, I don't see no competition. Listen, y'all really hard at paying attention. ADD really out here rapping. I'm ADD, ING, I love my endings. Count it up, flex, different. Every summer pulling up different. Spending all my spare time winning. The reason I'm surrounded by these women. Flex, different. Everything classic, we different. Woke up this morning on a mission. My palms itching, time to go get it. Dipping, flying down 290 dipping. Y'all ain't about to catch me slipping. Where I come from, capping means something different. The difference. You good, I'm elite, there's a difference. Taking no prisoners, cause this ain't no prison. Trying to compete, you gon' need your 3 wishes. Classic. I'm cold, low Fahrenheit. All this gold on me just to repel the parasites. Fake loyalty and them leeches and parasites. Only one that practice what I preach, yeah, I'm Barry White. I'm trying to move to paradise. Play with me, you gambling with your life, that's a paradise. In love with the game, I'm about to cop a marriage license. Probably send my exes invites just to throw the rice. Different. Every summer pulling up different. Spending all my spare time winning. The reason I'm surrounded by these women. Different. Everything classic, we different. Woke up this morning on a mission. My palms itching, time to go get it. Heaven. I pray that all dogs go to heaven. I don't don't really think they get the message. We don't want no mess, but we can show you what a mess is. Money in the mattress like Tetris. Even when I'm resting, I'm flexing. Pulling up swole don't really give you leverage. Having 40 dudes would you make you look scary. I'm all about my grands, Ruby, Jesse. I'm all about my grands, Lloyd, Mary, Harder, Robin Neville. I am legend. You ain't gotta like it, you gon' respect it. I wrote this whole record before breakfast. All that mean I'm cranking out hit records for breakfast. All the consumers consume with the madness. All of these artists consume with my methods. I'm flexing. Different. Every summer pulling up different. Spending all my spare time winning. The reason I'm surrounded by these women. Different. Everything classic, we different. Woke up this morning on a mission. My palms itching, time to go get it.
It ain't even about being a real dude or a fake dude or a person. I'm me.
Yo, it's classic with the classic codes, man. If y'all don't do nothing else, my last request is always the same. Stick to the codes. We got another classic. Justice for Nolan. Yeah, yeah.
Why you ain't say nothing? I'm only gonna do this once. You always knew I'd make it in the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing? You believed in me the whole time, for real? Yeah, yeah. I couldn't tell. You was around me from the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Seen them hard times, couldn't kill me. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Stages on moon getting bigger. Now you wanna say something. Been watching my story all winning. Why you ain't say nothing? 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 You was around me from the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing? Stages I'm on getting bigger. Now you wanna say something? Put that on my soul. Oh no. They ain't hungry no more when it's time to eat crow. Or farming, I'm enhancing my glow. Ain't gon' argue with you about what I know. Photo album, all I'm seeing is ghosts. Had to remodel from pillar to post. Said what I said, I ain't come here to argue. You said congratulations, should've said sorry. Got it, now you won't be part of the party. Your access denied, I'm sorry, not sorry. When I needed air, niggas wouldn't have farted. Now they pulling up and thinking we solid. Now I'm on the phone talking $1 million topics. Up early, Zoom call out to Abu Dhabi. Don't answer my phone if it's gonna be about gossip. I don't really care, everybody got problems. That's why I be sharing my woes, letting y'all know it's okay, you can come up from the bottom. Scraping, scratching, clawing. Before I start running, I started with crawling. Before I got balance, I started with falling. Started with broke before ever was balling. Started with hope before ever rewarded. They ain't show up till I became important. You was around me from the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Seen them hard times, couldn't kill me. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Stages I'm on getting bigger. Now you wanna say something? Been watching my story all winter. Why you ain't say nothing?